Hello everyone, this is Ramzan Ali. Welcome back to my channel Ramzan Reviews. So this is the time for the December TBR. I know I'm a little late, but you can say I was engulfed in too much job related stuff. So this is going to be a very small TBR. There are only 5 books that I am must going to read in December, and there are other books as well which I think I will read. I'll mention them at the end, but they are not um, but that list is malleable. I can change it anytime, but these are the 5 books that I am must going to read in December 2022. So let's just dive into it. So the first book that I have already started on the 1st of December was The Monster of Allen Haven by Jennifer Griesbrecht. I think that's her name. That's how her name is pronounced. I am not sure. Most probably I butchered her name. So this is a grim dark fantasy novella, and it takes place in the city of Allen Haven in Scandinavia. So I'm going to read the short description or excerpt at the end of the book. It reads like: the city of Allen Haven sulks on the edge of the ocean, racked by plague, abandoned by South, stripped of industry and left to die. But not everything dies so easily. A thing without a name stalks the city, a thing shaped by like a man, with a dark heart and long pale fingers yearning to wrap around throats. A monster who cannot die. His frail master sends him out on errands, twisting him with magic, crafting a plan too cruel to name, while the monster's heart grows fonder and colder and more cunning. So I was fascinated by this short description, and this book was reviewed on the channel by Slowly Read. So I love his channel, and most of his recommendations and books reviewed are grimdark, and I love grimdark. And this is a very short novella, I think 170 or 180 pages. So I'm reading it very slowly because I didn't get a chance to read much on 2nd of December, but I will finish it. I'm almost 70 to 80% through, and I will review this book. The second is going to be The Body Under Piano by Martha Jocelyn. It's a middle grade murder mystery, and I thought enough with the grimdark fantasy and grimdark sci-fi. Let's just dive into something a little bit light and cozy, like a middle grade murder mystery. And this one fascinated me. It's loosely based on Agatha Christie and one of her favorite characters, Hercule Poirot, the detective. The description of this book reads like: Aggie Morton lives in a small town on the coast of England in 1902. Adventurous and imaginative, but deeply shy, Aggie hasn't got much to do since the death of her beloved father, until the fateful day when she crosses paths with 12-year-old Belgian immigrant Hector Perrault and discovers a dead body on the floor of Mermaid Dance Room. As the number of suspects grows and the murder threatens to tear the town apart, Aggie and her new friend will need every tool at their disposal, including their insatiable curiosity, detective skills, and not a little help from their friends, to solve the case before Aggie's beloved dance instructor is charged with the murder. So that sounds fascinating. It's just inspired by Agatha Christie murder mysteries, and I just love such murder mysteries. And this is going to be a very nice little um, cozy middle grade mystery type. So to be honest, I have also started it last night. This is going to be an audiobook. So I just started it, and instantly I fell in love with it. The prose is it's good, and very very sharp and witty. The third book I'm going to read is Murderbot by Martha Wells. This book has been on my radar for a very long time, and it's a sci-fi and it's a very famous series. So let's just read the excerpt. On a distant planet, a team of scientists is conducting surface tests, shadowed by their company supplied droid, a self aware SEC unit that has hacked its own governor module and refers to itself, though never out loud, as Murderbot. Scornful of humans, Murderbot wants it to be left alone uh, uh, long enough to figure out who it is, but when a neighboring mission goes dark, it's up to the scientist and Murderbot to get to the truth. So, this is fascinating. Of course, it is loosely based on um, AI going rogue, AI becoming self-aware. So let's just see how this goes. The fourth book is a non-fiction. I have decided that I must include at least one non-fiction book and one historical fiction, which is not included in this list. I'm still figuring out which one of the historical fiction I'm going to cover this month. So this is the non-fiction: Directorate S, the CIA and America's Secret Wars in Afghanistan and Pakistan, by Steve Cole. So this is a non-fiction, and let me read the description at the back of the book. This is the full story of America's grim involvement in the affairs of Afghanistan from 2001 to 2016. In the wake of terrible shock of 9/11, the CIA scrambled to work out how to destroy bin Laden and his associates. The CIA had long familiarity with Afghanistan and had worked closely with Taliban to defeat Soviet Union there. A tangle of assumptions, old contacts, favors, and animosities were now reactivated. So that's the description. I haven't read the full description. It's a little bit long, but you get the idea of how this book is going to go on, and let's see how it is. I'm going to review this book as well. The fifth and the last book is going to be Lowdown by Daniel Polanski. It's also a murder mystery fantasy thriller, and I like murder mysteries that take place in fantasy environment. So why this book? I just finished Daniel Polanski's The Builders, and I haven't reviewed it. I will review that book tomorrow. It's a short fantasy novella based on anthropomorphic characters. I just loved it. I loved it so much. I must read one or more Daniel Polanski books. So this is it. Let's see how it goes. I'm very hopeful that this is going to be amazing. So let's read the description at the back of the book. In the forgotten back alleys and flop houses that lie in the shadows of Regus, the finest city of the 13 lands, you will find Lowtown. It is an ugly place, and its champion is an ugly man, disgraced intelligence agent, forgotten war hero, independent drug dealer. After a fall from grace 5 years ago, a man known as the Warden leads a life of crime, addicted to cheap violence and expensive drugs. Every day is a constant hustle to find new customers and protect his turf. The Warden's life of drugs, shaken by his discovery of a murdered child down a dead-end street, setting him on a collision course with the life he left behind. So I love such kind of correct the past mistake kind of stories in which there was a competent character, but something bad happened, and now he is living a life of seclusion, alone, and then something happens, and he has to go on a quest to correct his past mistake. So these are going to be my 5 TBR list that I'm going to cover in December, and there will be other books, a few of the books that are on my mind. Number one, the book number 1, Darkness That Comes Before, by R. Scott Baker. This book has been this series have been highly praised and recommended by most of the booktubers on the YouTube, and I just want to try the first book. Let's see how it goes. Another book that I think that I will read is Anathem by Neal Stephenson. This book has also been recommended by many booktubers as the philosophical fantasy book, and Let me just read a little bit of the description. Anathem is a science fiction novel by American writer Neal Stephenson, published in 2008. Major themes include many worlds, interpretations of quantum mechanics, and philosophical debates between um, nominalism and Platonic realism. So it's more like a philosophical science fiction, fantasy kind of read, and it just fascinated me, and I wanted to get into the Neal Stephenson books. So this is it, and I'm not sure I'm going to read this in December or not, but I will read it in December or in January. So that's it. Let me know if you have read any of these books or what were your thoughts, and if you want me to read any specific book in December or the first thing in January 2023. So like the video, subscribe to my channel. It would be a huge favor. I would highly appreciate it. Thank you so much, and see you next time.